Hey guys, Cobra Zero with another episode of Pump Up My Tower. And today I'm just gonna shorten their name down to AC. We're gonna be going over their tower, seeing where they're at, and hopefully some good little tips, tricks, and just random stuff to think about here and there. So let's jump into it. Alright. Okay. Whew. So we've got a little bit of an econ here. We're definitely gonna want black hole. So before, I almost want to say let's save up for it and just try to get it, because eventually being able to get up to like times 11 multiplier on any of the enemies that you kill in black hole, that's like multiplicative with this. So almost like going from times 9.9 to times 100, something like that. It's it's a big jump. So that's where my thoughts are right now. Um, but in the meantime, oh, this is tough because All right, give me a second. Let me pull up all my stuff. All right. So, black hole, when we first unlock it, that's going to be 200 seconds. So that's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. But I think you do have Multiverse Nexus. Okay, so you do have Multiverse Nexus. This is going to be a little bit challenging here. And part of me just like gut reaction is like, let's work on the cooldowns for Golden Tower together. So you would just save up this amount and then plunge into both of those when you get those. But Multiverse Nexus is also going to do a lot. Yeah. Let's take the cooldowns down a couple notches, and then should I say like 4 minutes and 30 seconds? Huh. I think let's maybe shoot for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm just going to comment here. You've got Chronofield. You can start the labs early for this, which is really, really nice. You might be able to dedicate like one of your lab slots just for this duration. And that's going to it's going to make it so much easier to actually eventually start to transfer into glass cannon. But right now you've got a big hurdle of 800 stones to jump into hopefully black hole. Like, I'm crossing my fingers. If you don't get black hole, I would say grab smart missiles. Some people would argue with me on that. And I can see where somebody might preferentially take spotlight in this instance. I would rather set you up so once you do have black hole, you've got everything that you're gonna need. So your top picks will be black hole, smart missiles, and then spotlight after that. Yeah. Got Chrono Field there, so you can slot in. I don't know how many lab slots you have. I don't have a picture of what you currently have lab slotted. So yeah. Um. So right now, because you don't have black hole, I would not Devo. I would not Devo your stats. There's no reason right now why you would want to do that. Specifically because you do not have black hole and you don't have it synchronized with everything else. Um, so yeah, you can just leisurely bump up things here and there, however you please. Um, yeah, so feel free. That's one nice thing about not having black hole is you don't have to worry about little nuances. You can just be like, all right, free ups go and just go to town. Um, yeah. Let's see. And you do have the free up card. It looks like that's in your build right now. You've got 12 slots. Maybe if you can get two more eventually, that'll be really nice. But yeah, let's see here. So you've got a long way to go as far as like your common cards. You don't have G comp yet, which would help. But here, you know you're pulling on a limited pool of items. Like eventually that pool is going to shrink and get smaller until there's nothing left in that pool. Versus over with modules, it's just a crapshoot, and you could get um ancestral in a couple things and not get a single pull in another, which I think I've gone over that account, which really sucks. Um, so I think for now, my recommendations are going to be most of your pulls are probably going to be here. Now, if you are reaching a point where you're capping out as far as what levels you can do in here, which I think right now is about 60 or 80, I think. Um, I think it's 60 for the base epic, 80 for the plus versions. Or that's just what I'm gonna call them, the plus versions. I don't know if there's a formal name for it. Um, yeah. Always keep a lab speed slotted in there. That's super important. Your hiding completed. Perfect. Okay. Which means you've got game speed maxed out already. Not worried about target priority 2. This can be much farther down the line. Probably about the time that you get black hole is when this will become a lot more relevant. Well, especially like black hole and spotlight. Um, yeah. But for now, you don't have to worry about that. Critical factor, in general, you're getting more bonus per level in this than you are in damage. Damage, you're only getting 0.2 for each level. This one, you're getting, 0.02 versus critical factor is 0.03. And eventually, you'll also be able to like double dip into critical factor. Um, but yeah, critical factors more value than just straight up damage. Um, you could put super crit at level 2, so like divide this by 2 and or divide these by 10, sorry. And that's usually a nice easy way to think of, oh, maybe that's where these levels should be. Um, Light speed shots, I wouldn't worry about that per se for now. Let's see, how much are you making? Yeah, you're making somewhere in the millions, kind of on the lower end of not the 100 million mark. So it looks like you're mostly farming tier 1. And actually, that's really not that bad. Maybe try again at tier 2 and see how you do there. It looks like it hasn't been a while, or it's been a while maybe since you run tier 2. So you might want to give that a shot. Because you don't have black hole right now, you don't have to worry about procs clogging things up. Um, Garlic Thorns is kind of nice for newer accounts because vampires tend to be problematic for you guys. Um, so this might be kind of nice. Coins per kill, that's always super useful, especially with GT versus coins per wave, which you're doing the right thing there. Um, and then having cash bonus, maybe like half of this, is maybe a good spot for that. You could kind of bring cash up, but right now you're not reliant on cash as much because you're just using free ups for the time being. Chronofield duration. This is the long one that's just gonna sit and clog up a lab slot for a very long time. So you could start now, you could start later. I would just start it later so it's not griefing you as much later down the line. Deathwave coin bonus, that's pretty solid. Especially right now, these two are synchronized. So making sure that this is turning this into something like, times 2 of this. So almost like times 20. That's always nice with, let me get in here. With Deathwave coin bonus, which you made some pretty good progress with that. It looks like you're also working on Deathwave health. Pretty solid there. Don't have anything negative to say about that. As far as durations, you don't have black hole yet, so it's kind of hard to recommend as far as like should you do a little bit of duration or bonus. That first burst of Deathwave is where that big chunk of that Deathwave coin bonus. Actually, I might actually recommend devoing for him. And not range per se. I don't think. Well, So hear me out. We could still hoard enemies for all your econ to go off. And that first wave is going to mark enemies. So yes, we are gonna devo. We are gonna devo. Okay. Because we want to maximize the number of enemies that we're killing with this bonus. And specifically, hopefully, ideally, we're killing tanks with this. So I will go back to the whole devo process in just a little bit. I'm so torn. I'm so bloody torn because it's like you've got free ups. That's going to make the runs longer, which means that you're probably going to get more cells. That means you can rush a bunch of these labs. Yeah, let's just use free ups. And then, once you do have black hole coin bonus, black hole damage, and extra black hole, like extra black hole in itself is like doubling your coin production with black hole. It's very, very good. So depending where you're at, you'll probably work on black hole coin bonus a bit, and then once you make enough with this, with black hole synchronized to the rest of your econ, you'll pick up a extra black hole and work a little bit on black hole damage. Extra orb adjuster is going to be very useful once you do get black hole. So you're absolutely going to want to pick this up. Now, how far away that's going to be, it's like a day, 7 hours, so it's not going to be too terribly long. It should go really quickly. If you are at like 1.5 times lab speed, this will be like a day. So very, very good. And if you're not able to rush it, then it's like day and 7 hours. It's not too bad. Perks. Definitely gonna want more here eventually. And I would say because of the cost of everything, let's start picking up some perk bands and some perk option quantity. These are going to be really, really good for you. Just having more perk options to choose from so you can tailor it down. Start getting the ones that you need as early as possible is going to be really, really good. As well as perk bands. You're just thinning out the pool of perks that are going to be toxic to your build. And yeah, these are great. Just treat these as like another econ related things. So yeah. Modules. Okay. So common drop is going to be number 1 because that's going to be an easy way to. Sorry about that. To make levels for your modules. You can click the whole option so it just auto shatters them. It's just free points to level up your modules. And yes, it's probably not going to take too terribly long for you to cap out at like 60 for some of these. But for the long term, once you're able to use your gems to roll more modules versus like, oh, hey, I'm already done with all of my cards, it's going to be really, really nice that you've banked as much as you have, at least just finishing up the common module drop. It will be super helpful, I think, for your long-term progression. Let's see here. Not going to worry about this. Looks like you're kind of already doing the right thing for this. You're putting more into range so it can capture more enemies, which makes it a lot more relevant, or makes this bonus more relevant over the course of its activation. But yeah. So if we had 5 lab slots, we're going to go with lab speed. I would go with chronofield duration. I would go with, what do we have here? Let's go with bouncing back and forth between Deathwave Health and Deathwave Clone Bonus. And then let's do 1 slot for perks right now, and then 1 slot for modules. And as far as like perks go, yeah, kind of already mentioned this. Actually, this is a good level. You can just leave it at that. If you ever want to raise waves required to level 9, you can. But you're really going to want to focus on the rest of these. And once you can get to the point of getting like first perk choice and you can put perk wave requirements in there, that makes life so much easier. But yeah, yeah, and I already covered this. Yeah, hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of going forward. Um, yeah, yeah, probably as far as your labs between Golden Tower duration and bonus, I might put a little bit more into bonus for now. And the reason why I'm thinking that is that bonus will also synergize with your Death Wave for now. Um, and you're only getting that first burst out of marking enemies. Um, as far as like a bonus, and then after that, it kind of, you know, once you kill all those enemies, then there's not much left. But if you're finding that there's still some of those enemies for that after that first Death Wave burst still up and around, then maybe you could increase duration at that point. But I think this is a little bit on the lower priority side as far as labs go. But yeah, cooldowns on Death Wave and GT. You're pretty solid. And then trying to get Black Hole. I think I've pretty much covered everything for you here. I hope that helps. And yeah, I will catch you later.